What's up, guys? Power Maniac 720 here, and I have for you today round 2 from the Boston Open. Currently 1-0, and my round 2 opponent is Ben Rothman. I almost said Roachman. That's someone I worked with. Ben Rothman, of course, a very accomplished player. I think he made Worlds in the past. I don't really know. I don't know much about past VGC because I didn't play until 2014. I don't really know much about the history other than like Ray Rizzo won 3 times. But I know he's a really good player. He just beat Major Bowman round 1, so I know I'm playing round 2. And he's got a pretty solid looking team. You know, you see he's got Garchomp, Kangaskhan, Thundurus, Sylveon, Bisharp, and Arcanine. So definitely pretty standard looking. The Garchomp stands out, of course, because VGC 15 really doesn't see much Garchomp. But definitely Pokemon I think should see more usage. It's still solid. It's like a way to beat Charizard without needing a choice scarf, basically, in my opinion, because you automatically outspeed it if you run max speed Jolly. But of course, Sylveon and Gardevoir make Garchomp scarier run. So I'm gonna get right into the battle here. So he goes by Cayman, not his game. He said, I think it was Andy Kid's game. So I lead Sableye, Arcanine. I think that gives me a pretty solid lead against most of his team. And he just goes Sylveon, Thundurus. So you get my Intimidate off, obviously not mattering unless this is physical, Defiant Thundurus, and he hacked the game. He actually withdraws his Thundurus, which is fine with me, I guess, and he sends in his Garchomp. So I go for the taunt, because I had Mental Herb in my Sableye, so I expected him to taunt me, and then I taunt him back. And I just Flare Blitz to Sylveon, knowing it's not going to KO unless he's like not bulky, and he's bulky enough to take it. He'd have to be like Scarf with 4 HP to not take that, even though I do have Calm Mind. He has Calm Mind, even though I have Flare Blitz and Life Orb. But he Calm Minds, which I was pretty happy with, because once I didn't get the KO, I thought for sure I was just going to lose Sableye to a Hyper Voice. But so I go for the Will-O-Wisp, not fearing the Earthquake, because A, he'd have to Earthquake himself, and B, I thought that I could just get the burn off. But he actually has Lumberry, so I don't get the burn off. And I do get this Flare Blitz off, which is going to KO this Sylveon, which is nice. Also, as you can see, that Dragon Claw did a pretty good chunk of damage, which, is, I guess, not too surprising. Garchomp's got high attack. I have no defense investment. I have like 4 EVs. So he sends Thundurus back in. I switch to Arcanine because I think the Intimidate will be useful later, plus Close Combat for his, presumed Kangaskhan in the back. So I switch to my Salamence to get Intimidated off. Also, I'm not really expecting anything into that slot. I think Sableye is more the threat. So this time he goes for the taunt onto my Sableye. And my Mental Herb activates, which is awesome because now I can taunt him right back so he can't paralyze my Salamence. So you see Garchomp Earthquake this turn, which is fine because Sableye should be able to take it. Survives with 3 HP, which I was pretty pumped about. Salamence is going to Mega Evolve here. Of course, I'm fearing the HP Ice from the Thundurus. The -1 Dragon Claw is still going to do a huge chunk of damage to Salamence, especially when paired with that HP Ice. Obviously enough to knock me out. So I just protect so I can get a nice little burn off before I end up losing my Sableye. I actually did expect him to protect that turn with the Garchomp, so I did go for the burn on the Thundurus. And plus Thundurus is a little more annoying for me to deal with than Garchomp. So I do get Will-O-Wisp on both of them, which is great, because Will-O-Wisp is such a great move, especially Prankster, because that chip damage is so nice. I do go for the Rock Slide, and I miss the Thundurus, which is annoying, because that's what I really wanted to hit more. So of course now I'm going to take an HP Ice to the face, which is never fun. But I do get a Flinch on Garchomp, so that kind of makes up for it. HP Ice is going to hit me, and it doesn't knock me out, but it does a pretty sizable amount of damage. So I'm kind of concerned at this point that just about what's going on. So I do send in my Milotic, hoping to take the Thunderbolt. I figure Thunderbolt's coming in that spot. I do Roost also to take the HP Ice a little better. But I figured if the HP Ice Dragon Claws, I should survive it, and if he goes for the Sableye, which I kind of expect he would, then I'll just get a Moringa Berry boost. And his Dragon Claw, does a good amount, but he's at -1 and burned. And so he does go for the Thunderbolt into the Milotic spot, and it crits me and does a huge chunk of damage, which is really unfortunate. And this next turn is kind of the turning point in the match. So what I did before the turn, for the turn, is I double edge the Garchomp because it's definitely, Garchomp's pretty bulky, but Salamence hits like a truck. So it's definitely in double edge KO range, especially because I'm pretty sure he was 4 HP, he told me. He said he's not bulky. Which then would allow, basically that means the Thundurus has to target down my Salamence. So then I get a free Ice Beam off on his Thundurus, which, is going to activate his Citrus, but it's going to bring him down pretty low because I do have a decent amount of investment in this Milotic. Unfortunately, this doesn't go as planned. As you see, the chip damage on the Thundurus and the Garchomp. And his taunt wears off, which sucks. So he's gets a free Thunder Wave off. So as long as I'm not fully paralyzed, I think I have the game pretty well in hand. Especially because Sableye just beats Kangaskhan in the back if he doesn't have Scrappy. Unfortunately, I do get fully paralyzed. And you see that crit really coming in handy here because now I am not able to survive that Dragon Claw, which, if it wasn't a crit before, I definitely would have. But still not over. I still have Arcanine in the back. I still have Sableye, which has some fun tricks. Thundurus goes for the taunt on my Sableye. So my two options here, I went for the Quash because I figured either he taunts me or I Quash him. So either way, I'm getting an attack off and surviving this Dragon Claw. And I thought I was going to survive it, but he crit me again. So unfortunately, not able to attack there. So, at this point, it's pretty much over because I don't have a way to... Arcanine's good, but it's not going to be able to take out the Thundurus, especially if Citrus now is activated. It can't take out the Thundurus, the Garchomp, and the Kangaskhan all at once, unfortunately. So, I get this Garchomp down to -2 and burn, but not enough. So, I just go for the extreme speed here onto the Garchomp. And I don't even knock it out, and I'm like, oh, come on. So I also go for the Feint on the Garchomp, because I just wanted to KO, at this point. Just wanted to make it a little bit closer than it was. And unfortunately, Feint can't KO it either. So Garchomp gets off this Earthquake, which is going to end the match. So that was a match versus Ben Rothman. I'm not too worried about the loss, because Ben's obviously a really good player, and I figured he's going to help my resistance, which the rest of my opponents didn't do throughout the day. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle, and stay tuned for round 3.